Now on to another speech by a true friend of the globe, I say. He's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a civic leader, as well as an excellent writer. He has a special commitment to civic, educational, as well as artistic causes. Besides his prolific personality, this gentleman is very kind-hearted as he believes in giving back to the community. As soon as he enters our studio, no matter which the guest may be, who the guest may be, in every interview of his, he ends by saying, "I believe in giving back to the community." He has authored, by the way, 2 books, which are absolutely excellent. If you haven't read them, please do get a hold of them. And at the moment, he is writing a 3rd book. And I don't know how he can afford the time because he's super busy. You often see his name on Frank blogs, Economic Times of India, and the International Business Times. You always catch him on our TV show, global television networks, and almost all the shows. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the leader, the chairman of FI Investment Group, none other than the husband of Mrs. Debbie Dreisman, Mr. Frank Islam.
So before I start, good evening to all of you. I'm trying to adjust all these things here, so give me some time. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your service to India as well as service to our nations. And I totally agree with you that we must create the next generations and empower them with educations and give them a strength and courage so that they can carry on with our vision, with our missions, and our goals. I also want to recognize Ike Leggett, who's somewhere over here. Ike, where are you? Yeah, he's our Montgomery County executive, and thank you for your service to our country and our community, as well as to Montgomery County. Distinguished guests, members of the NCAIA family, friends, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Mrs. Mehra, for that kind introduction. I should say Nilima, because she's a personal friend, and she happens to be my producer of the TV show as well. Thank you. And she always the best she can be. I want to express my deep appreciation for your hospitality. I want to thank all of you for your warm welcome. And looking at you today, I never felt so blessed. I also like to express my deep gratitude to Gisela Ghani, where is she, for inviting me to deliver this address. It is great to be back with you. Over the years, I have been fortunate to be part of the number of events hosted by the NCAIA. So I almost feel that I'm a part of this organization. Please adopt me. Let me begin by congratulating NCAIA for completing 10 years. It is indeed a notable milestone. I applaud the leadership of the organization for all of the work you have done over the past decade. Whether it's a government, business, or nonprofit, what makes an organization great is the people associated with it. That is definitely true for NCAIA. Your leadership deserves much credit for the accomplishment. Let us all give a big round of applause for all of the current and past presidents, chairpersons, and other peoples in the NCAIA. Please stand up and be counted. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much. I have been asked to keep my formal remarks tonight 5 to 6 minutes. In that time period, I want to address 2 distinct topics. NCAIA, the voice for the Indian American community, and the NCAIA, a voice of the American community. I will start by recognizing NCAIA. In a very short period of time, you have become the voice for the Indian American community in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. 10 years is not a lot of time in the life of a community organization. As you know, there are many Indian American organizations in this area that are at least 20 to 30 years old. Many of these groups exist just for hosting social events, a festival here, and culture event there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against festivals and culture events. I love them all, and I attend many, many of them. But to be the voice of the Indian American community, an organization has to bring Indian American groups together to stand up and speak out on issues that matter to the Indian American community. And NCAIA has done that. In my opinion, it's based on my observation of the organization's activities from afar, at times up close. There are two areas where the NCAIA has done an exceptional job. One, you have done an extraordinary job in bringing various Indian American organizations under one umbrella, and again, many, many times. I remember one of the NCAIA Republic Day events I attended. You brought together more than 30 Indian American organizations for that event. It was an impressive accomplishment. The other day, I visited your website. I was amazed to see that the NCAIA has nearly 36 Indian American groups as partners, from the American Society of Engineers of Indian Origin, Capital Area Telugu Society, to the National Federation's Indian American Associations, and Virginia Tamil Academy. This is a wide area of group reflecting the diversity of the area's Indian American community. Thanks to NCAIA for forging an alliance among these groups. The second area where the NCAI has excelled in the past decade is, by my reckoning, is your activism on the U.S.-India bilateral front. Whenever there was an issue affecting U.S.-India relations, I have seen that your group has been on the forefront of it. Whether it's mobilizing the community, or educating U.S. lawmakers, you are always there. I know that several of you work actively for the passage of the U.S.-India civil nuclear deal 8 years ago. Once again, I applaud the commendable job you're doing on that front. Being in Washington, we have an advantage. I call it geographic advantage when it comes to playing a positive role in improving bilateral relations. We get to interact with elected representatives of the United States and representatives of India more than our fellow Indian Americans who live in other parts of the nation can. Given this advantage, I encourage the NCAIA to continue to be the voice of the Indian American community here on the Beltway, and for the hundreds of thousands of Indian Americans across this great nation. So here we are. In case you missed it, during this presidential election cycle, there have been a lot of negative comments about immigrants from non-European countries and people with non-Christian religious belief. Our American community is being frayed and tattered by those who would unite rather than divide us. In response to this, I want to encourage NCAI to take the leadership to renewing our American community to be a leader in making an operation reality and a cause of pride for this country and its citizens again. One way this might be done is by bringing all of those hyphenated groups that exist within the United States together. To name just a few, here are Indian Americans, Chinese Americans, Japanese Americans, Mexican Americans, German Americans, Italian Americans, and Irish American. Why not we bring these groups together to recognize our common cause and our common commitment and our common good as Americans? Our bonds are stronger than the differences that too often drive us apart. At the end of the day, we all immigrants, and we all Americans. All of us should seek a common ground as we have a shared goals and shared responsibility. We need to stand tall and speak out against hatred, prejudice, bigotry, ignorance, intolerance, injustice. Attack on one faith is attack on all faith. Today we are victims, tomorrow someone else will be the victims. When that happens, it will tear apart the harmonious fabric of this nation. So we need to stand and united by a common hope and for a better tomorrow. And all of us need to be active participants in this election cycle, because this election is the battle of the soul of America. A few years ago, I proposed having an Interdependence Day held on the day before the day after the Independence Day, the 4th of July. Independence Day would be a day in which we will celebrate our diversity and our oneness, the qualities that make the United States unique in the world. I do not know if Interdependence Day is the answer. I do know is this: it is time for this country to come together. I also know that we as Indian Americans, especially the NCAIA and its members, have the strength, the talent, and the capacity to be the voice of the Indian American community and voice of the American community. So in closing, I ask you to assume their dual role. We as Indian Americans would be better off if we do. And most importantly, so would we the people. Once again, thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. It has been a real honor to be here with you during this evening. When I look back the time we spent together, the miles we have traveled together, the memory that we have cherished together, I will always think of you. God bless you all.